Well, welcome to another episode of the Sweeter After Difficulty podcast. I am Randy Highsmith, and today I've got with me a regular guest. You know him, you love him. He's the quote master general himself, Jordan Lopez. What's up, Jordan?
Hey, Randy, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, lots going on. Lots to talk about. I actually just took a long weekend trip out of town. I was really desperately needing the beach, and Michelle's pretty good about knowing, like, she can tell when I'm getting to that point where I've like run out of all my beach equity from the last trip. So it's like time to go again. So we actually booked a trip to Petaluma, which is, if you're not familiar out there, it's a little town north of where we are, towards the coast. It's about half an hour away from Dillon's Beach out near Tomales Bay, and Bodega Bay is right down the road. But it's a cool little, just a little town on the way when you're heading up the 101. And so we we do this thing when we plan trips, especially like this was just really literally, let's get out of town for the weekend, right? And so we do this thing where we were like, we're gonna stay in an Airbnb because Petaluma doesn't really have hotels per se. It's really kind of a small place. And we like to stay in kind of interesting and cool places anyway. So Michelle found this little hotel, and it must have been it's either originally a hotel and they built houses around it, or it was just an old house and the guy converted it into a hotel. But basically, the whole theme of the place, it's called the Hotel Metro. I highly recommend it for anybody that is looking to just find a little place to crash in Petaluma. It was not expensive. We got it through Airbnb, the Hotel Metro. But basically, if you didn't know, the subway system in Paris, France is called the Metropolitan. So they shorten it to Metro. So this was a Paris, France themed hotel, which which sounds interesting. It was way more interesting to actually experience.
Yeah.
Um, it was the guy had like all kinds of France stuff everywhere. They were playing the radio station that was playing was in French, like the news coming out of it was in French. They had maps of the subway, they had maps of like all these little different things that all came from Paris. You could buy postcards that were legitimate ones from Paris. Um and they served a breakfast that was very Parisian in a like an area that they set up in sort of like an outdoor cafe looking thing, but it was inside. Really, really fascinating. And then outside they had like three airstreams that they had restored,
Hmm.
and you can rent one of those or you can rent a room. And so have you ever stayed in a place like that? Like a tiny little weird hotel?
Uh, I, was the guy French? That's the question, or was he just some normal
He
dude?
no, okay, that is an excellent question, because I expected him to be, and he was not. At
Yeah.
least he didn't have an accent, like, he was just sort of an older guy, and he walked real slow, kinda limpy, um, super nice, but just very mellow, not French at all. And then, like, the rest of the people working there, it
Yeah.
wasn't like a family business because they were all just random people that were working there, and I don't I mean, I didn't hear anybody speaking with a French accent, so
Yeah.
no, it was literally like this guy must have visited France in the war or something, and then he
Yeah.
decided that he just loved it so much. It was really good.
Called cultural appropriation, Randy.
Yeah, yeah, well, I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and, so one of the things that attracted us to it, and I think probably cemented that we were gonna stay there, was we're always in search of large, old style bathtubs,
Mm.
right? The kind where you can, like, it's almost like jacuzzi size, right? They're
Yeah.
just but they're old, like the old clawfoot tubs or, like an old copper tub or something, just like something where you can take a bath. Cause I cannot stand most modern bathtubs. Like, I don't even know what the point of them is unless you're a
Yeah.
kid, right? You cannot lay completely down in them without your knees out of the water.
Yeah.
Then when your knees are out of the water, or they're in the water, your body's out of
Yeah.
the water, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's the dumbest thing. Like, I hate modern bathtubs. And so we're scrolling through the pictures and the room we got, clawfoot tub. So we're like, dude, this
Fuck yeah.
place has it all,
Yeah.
right? Super funny. So so we get in this room and I'll try to post a picture uh on the episode when this comes out. But um the clawfoot tub was actually a half tub. So it was not only was it not as long as the standard tub that I was just complaining about, it was less than that. Like, it was literally meant for you just to sit in under the water from the shower hitting you if you wanted to. Like, there was no, it wasn't a relaxing, like, stretch out, take a bubble bath. It wasn't any of that. It was just like this tiny little version of a clawfoot tub. Just hilarious. But, like, we're such good sports about that stuff. Like, that kind of stuff is the spice of life for me. Like, I just laugh. There was this in our room. They had it was kind of like a modern artsy French motif. So it was like paint over paint, but not really clean looking, just kind of like just, odd swipes and stuff here and there. It's kind of like the truly fascinating place. And and then they had these light fixtures that were kind of hanging from these sort of wood branches, really, without any leaves on them or anything, sticking out of the wall, and they had these light fixtures hanging down from them. It's totally interesting. But then on the side table, there was this giant glowing goose, and it was like his whole body was glowing.
Yeah.
Not so like it was big enough that it lit the whole room up, just the goose alone, right? Like crazy. And so we were laughing about that, and we were laughing about the clawfoot tub. And then as we were leaving for breakfast on Friday morning, we were walking by another room and the housekeepers were cleaning it, and the room was completely different layout, completely like different setup. They had different stuff in there, and it was like a walk-in shower. There was no tub or whatever, but every room has a giant glowing goose in it. And I
Really?
have no idea. I have no idea why. Like,
Yeah.
there's no explanation for it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the motif. Uh Super funny and super fascinating, but um yeah, the Hotel Metro in Petaluma, California. Uh I highly recommend it. 5 stars. They were great. They were great people. The breakfast they put out was like homemade crepes and like hard-boiled eggs and stuff. It's really, really interesting, but super fun.
Yeah. Well, you just reminded me of a so there's a personality trait that I love with people, and I want to see get your opinion on it. So I think you and I are very similar with this. Like, I love people who don't correct other people. Like when they just go with it. And they're like, okay, cool. And it's move on. Like, somebody calls you the wrong name, or they pronounce your name incorrectly, or
Yeah.
like the perfect example of this is, so when my kids were little, like 1 or 2 years old, my wife, Melissa, was sick, and so I had Mackenzie with me, and the play date they were supposed to be on, the woman we were meeting, her husband was sick, and so she brought her daughter, who was little, like a year old. And so, like, Mackenzie was playing with their son, who was similar to her age, and they had a little baby. And I love babies, and so I'm holding the baby, and this little old woman walks past and goes, and the woman who we had to play date with, she was like Japanese, like like very, very Japanese, and I'm definitely not. And so I'm holding their baby and kind of playing with it, and this little old lady walks by and goes, "Oh my gosh, she looks just like you," to me. and this mom just goes, "Thank you so much." And like, that's so kind. And the little woman kind of totters off. And I looked at her and I'm just like, I like that. Like, that's a personality trait that I love. Like not correcting people, just kind of going with it. It's like, what does it get you to correct that old woman? Like it would get you nothing. Like, oh, it's not her, that's not her
Well,
dad.
let me unpack it for you,
And I
Jordan.
hate I hate when people do that. And I love when they don't, they just roll with it. Like, oh, people call me George and they're like, hey Jordan, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I just roll with it. Like, what is it? It doesn't get me anything to correct you. Like, I just have to,
Okay, but what about listen, I hear you for the sake of politeness, right? But what about
yeah,
this, right? What about you let me call you George
yeah,
for 6 months, and then we're sitting there having coffee one day, and they go, "Jordan," and you get up and you go get your coffee, and I go, "Oh, that sucks. They got your name wrong." And you're like, "Well, actually, it's you that's had my name wrong for the last 6
yeah.
months." I'd be so pissed at you for not correcting me earlier.
I don't know. I just, for me, like, I get it. Like, I would, maybe I might correct it, but if you kind of roll with it, I would just be like, all right, I guess I'm George now. Like,
Dude,
that's just who
that
I
is
am.
I do not agree with that at all. I call him total BS. That's so funny. I please listen. So now you know out there, if you encounter Jordan, it's totally fine. He's not going to correct you.
No.
But if you hear me call you the wrong thing, please correct me immediately. I do
Well,
not want to
it's
know
a
your name
situational
wrong.
thing, right? If we have a friendship, yeah, I'll be like, hey man, it's actually Jordan. But like some little old woman who says something like that, or somebody at Starbucks like that, like what is it? It gains you nothing correcting that person. It just like you put
Yeah.
them in their place, and you're like, well, why? Why? What does it hurt that situation?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's funny. Yeah,
Like another
so
like it's a
oh no, go
social
ahead.
unawareness thing though too. Like I was out one time and we were at a restaurant and these people were in front of us and they had a phone out and they were listening to music on their phone and it was the Starship song. Um
White Rabbit?
no, like can't hold us down or can't I forget the name of the song. But they were listening to it like the two
Nothing's
of
gonna
them
stop
listening to
me
the
now.
song together. And it was loud enough to hear. And it was the funniest. It's like you are just so socially unaware of what's going on. And it was just like it was a running joke for so long. I could never do that. I could never just listen to music with somebody else as we're at a restaurant or waiting for a table in a restaurant. Like we're just listening to this Starship song.
Yeah, and I don't I've noticed that social awareness or even caring
Yeah.
about it really took a dive after COVID.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I think just not being in touch with each other for long enough really it got us all in this like internet communication mode where we kind of talk to each other and treat each other the same way we do online, which I think is really awful,
Yeah.
to be honest. Um, because the internet is a cesspool. I mean, I know there's pockets of decency in there and there's a lot of things you can learn and it has value, but man, it's sometimes it's rough just to hear how people just even like over the most innocuous things just have these terrible knockdown drag out fights online online about the dumbest things, like
Yeah.
two provably untrue theories and people are just screaming at each other about them. It's like wild. It's
Yeah.
wild to me.
Well, and that's the funny thing is though, so I've been like hiking a lot recently, and you pass people randomly right on the trails, and like I love those interactions. Like the oh hey how's it going? Like oh it's going well. Or you're talking to people on the trails. It's like and I
Yeah.
love the like yes sir yes ma'am kind of a thing. And I'll pass somebody or some old guy will walk past me. I'm like hey have a good day sir. He's like oh you too young man. Like you get like this immediate response from people when you show them like deference. You're polite with your words. And I'm really working with my kids recently to be like hey like say yes sir yes ma'am. Like you want to get something out of like, these people like call this old dude sir and see how happy it makes me. Or call this old lady ma'am. Like, and it's
Yeah.
just a normal thing now for me. It's like I just walk past some old dude today. He's like, oh, there's some deer around the corner. I'm like, oh really? And he's like, yeah, there's four of them. I'm like, all right, well, have a great day, sir. He's like, you too, young man. Like, and it's this polite, this southern hospitality, this politeness that is so prevalent here that I love, and I cherish that so much because when people just it's appreciated, right? For in California, you'd be like, okay, okay, okay. So my kids and I went to Chattanooga over the weekend, and I'm completely unattached from college sports, right? So we went to a Bucky's on the way there, and if you don't know, Bucky's is like a Walmart gas station, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. You
Yeah.
go to a Buck, and it is the most life altering situation. You walk into a Bucky's because you're just it makes no sense. And so we walk
So
in
let me
there.
ask you this before you
Yeah,
before you go too far.
yeah.
So we watch Kill Tony and they film it in Austin, and they talk about Bucky's a lot on that show. Do you eat the food at Bucky's?
I get the beef jerky there. It's really good. They have like a whole wall of beef jerky.
Yeah. They have everything, right? It's
Yeah,
like the
they
craziest
have
thing, and
everything. They
these
have
guys
brisket. They have fudge. They have beef jerky.
yeah. Yeah,
Icy
that's
machines.
what they're
Everything.
always talking about, so I was curious. I know you don't eat a lot of stuff that's not good for you, but I was
Yeah,
just curious,
but they have a whole clothing section. Like they'll have all this food, and they'll have like
Yeah.
sunglasses and clothing
Yeah.
and pool toys and everything in between. I steer heads with big horns on it, and you're like, yeah, perfect. I'll get that and some brisket, and we'll leave Bucky's.
Such a foreign concept,
Oh, dude.
you know? So funny.
So
Uh,
we walk into this Bucky's, and everybody inside is wearing like the Indiana Hoosiers clothes, like bright red and white. IU, like us, 80% of people in there are wearing that. And the kids in there are like, "What is going on?" Like, we're not in Indiana. We're nowhere near Indiana. We're 8 hours from there. And so we're standing in line, and I turn to this lady behind me, I'm like, "What's the deal with everybody wearing Indiana?" And she's like, "Oh, Indiana played in the Peach Bowl yesterday night in Atlanta."
mm,
I'm like, "Oh, how'd the game go?" She's like, "Oh, we won." I'm like, "Oh, congratulations." She's like, "Yeah, we're driving home. It's an 8-hour drive home. Yeah, we play in Miami for the such and such bowl in 2 weeks, like the national championship." I'm like, "Oh, well, drive safe." She's like, "Oh, yeah, you too. You drive safe." And I get in the car with my kids. I'm like, that was the most Southern conversation I've ever had. Like
yeah.
In California, you'd be like, "Oh, everybody's wearing Indiana stuff, whatever," and it would be and that would be the extent of the thought. Like, but there, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's wearing it. It's a, have a blessed day. All that stuff happens because people will talk to each other in line, and there's no weirdness. It's no like it's just a weird thing growing up in California, but being born and raised there. And not being here, people will actually talk to you in line. Will actually like have legitimate conversations with you and tell you a blessed day when you leave. And it's so weird to kind of feel that difference.
Yeah, I find myself in conversations with strangers all the time,
Yeah, but that's uncommon.
and
Yeah,
but it's also like, as soon as, like, something weird comes out or, like, something interesting, then I'm like, "Okay, I'm stuck." Like, where I'm gonna
yeah,
be listening to I wanna listen to this person talk for a long time. Um, and that's usually when, like, I look up to see, like, where Michelle is, and she's gone. She's like, I'm not staying. I'm not doing this." When we were in Paris, we were in line for this outdoor bathroom, as there was, like, it was in the middle of in the city square, and this dude was in front of us, and he had been drinking all day long, and if he however much English he had managed to, learn in his life, he probably was deficient of it by about 25 or 30% just by how much he had been drinking that
yeah.
day. And
Inebriated.
so he was really struggling, like, to find enough English to talk to me, and I was so entertained that I literally sat there waiting, like, we let people go in front of us to the bathroom because we were talking so
Yeah,
long. I had to go find Michelle and Christian. They were like, "We're done. We're out of
yeah,
here. We're not talking to some drunk Frenchman." I love it. I love it. I love those, like, the first time I ever went over there, to that side of the world, um, I went to England and Scotland for 10 days with a couple of friends when I was young.
mhm,
And one of my favorite things that happened on that trip was one night, it was late, like, I don't know, I guess it wasn't too late, but a guy had just gotten off of a shift. We were sitting down at the hotel bar, and a guy had just gotten off of his shift, and he came in to eat. And so he just bought a plate of food, and while he was sitting there chatting with the bartender. He heard us talking and, he said something like, "Oh, Yanks are you?" or whatever, and
Mm.
so I started talking to him, and I think I sat there and talked to that dude for like 4 hours. I just
Yeah.
asked him I just wanted his whole life story, like,
Yeah.
"What do you do? What do you do for a living? What's work like? Where do you live?" How what's like,
Yeah.
I just wanted it all, just like anything, but, um, being able to connect with someone, especially not having any idea if you have anything in common with them or not before you start talking to them, that's exciting to me. Like,
Yeah.
I think that unknown territory is exciting.
Well, that's a big thing. Like I do. Like I don't like to go through like a Starbucks drive-through, right? I want to get out of my car. I want to walk inside. I want to like interact with people. I don't want to just like sit in my car, go through the drive-through, move on with my life. Like I enjoy that little interaction, that little and I do sales for work, right? My whole job is talking to people and kind of building rapport and building relationships. And so I don't know, like part of me kind of enjoys just being there and just being in the environment and kind of just even just sitting there and kind of people watching and talking to the barista and ordering my food and asking how they're doing and interacting with a little bit. Like I kind of like that. I don't need to spend 4 hours talking, but I don't just want to sit in my car and just kind of roll through the drive-through either.
Starbucks only gets my business out of convenience, and it galls me every time. And I'll tell you this, if Dutch Bros would get it together and start having food, I would never go back to Starbucks. But sometimes it's like, man, sometimes I just need a stupid breakfast sandwich or something when I'm on my way to work, and it's like
Yeah.
too late. Uh, but I try not to go to Starbucks. I really prefer Dutch Bros.
I don't they're not here, I don't think. Like
No,
there's
no,
a
I
bunch
don't
of
think so
small
either.
places around. Like I have friends who just absolutely hate Starbucks. They're like, will give me their Starbucks cards because they're like, I get these for my work. The kids at my school give me these cards and I hate it and I don't want to go there. And so they give them to me. I'm like, I don't care. Like they have a good iced chai latte. And I'll get that and just kind of say thanks and be on my day. Like that's all I'm employed by local people, right? It's just I don't know. Like yeah, it's a corporate that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's just I don't know. Locals work there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That's interesting. So, so we leave the metro for Friday, went and got some breakfast and walked around Petaluma. And then we went and drove up to Dillon Beach. And it's like Dillon's Beach is a place that I used to go a lot. Because a friend of mine. So um Dillon's Beach is right near like it's all in the Tamales and Bodega Bay area, right between kind of sandwiched between those. And there's a part of it that's called Lawson's Landing. And uh you know, probably like as far back as the 30s and 40s and 50s, people would buy space in Lawson's Landing and they would go park like either like some sort of a mobile home or a big like mobile home trailer. They would just back it in and then leave it there. And then they
mm,
would pay like a membership to be part of Lawson's Landing, and they would upkeep their own trailer. And then you could just go whenever you wanted because you had a trailer there. So one of my buddies, his parents were part of a timeshare, and they used to have a trailer out at Lawson's Landing. Dude, this trailer was like the dirtiest, most broken down, mildewy,
yeah,
trash, disgusting trailer. But for us, we were like teenagers. It was like, okay, like this is the
yeah.
best. Like
Sweet.
we got this place right on the beach where we can go. It's really just a roof and a bed, right? Like who cares? So anyway, um, they've changed it a lot since we used to go. They took out all those trailers and they actually put in a section of their own small like attached but single unit little cabins that you can rent now. So you can you can either rent one or you can buy like a block of them that has a common area in the middle. And so if you want to go with like four families or whatever, everybody can have their own space, but then you can all share a space too. So they've changed it up a lot. And one of the charming aspects of it when I was a kid was my grandparents would take us there when I was little, and they always brought their fifth wheel. And basically, next to Lawson's Landing, it was just like this big, wide open pasture with cows wandering around. And then right beyond that was like these sand dune mountains. So there was just like a bunch of sandy dunes back there. And now, because of how many people want to camp there, they took that whole cow pasture and they completely cut it up into spaces. So there's white lines painted on the ground. Like you literally have to cram into a space and you're right next to it's an awful camping experience. Like I haven't gone back there since. But anyway, the beach is still beautiful and it's really a cool spot. It ends at this sort of like rocky alcove where these tide pools will gather when the tide goes out. And you can, I've found fish in there and crabs and all kinds of cool stuff. Like you can really get like out and be part of it. And then it's just a beautiful stretch of beach. So, I'm one of these weirdos who believes in grounding. And I think that everybody should take off their shoes and get out on some bare dirt, as often as they can. So we went and, I took off my shoes. It's been chilly, like, out at the beach even, I think it was just, like, high 50s, I think.
Yeah.
So still kinda chilly, but the sun was out and it was not cloudy, so, I was barefoot and just walking around, and, it's funny observing people, um, while we were out there, there was this dude construction worker, because he was wearing the construction colors and he had the boots on, like the full thing, right? And he was crawling his way down to the beach because it's kind of a cliff and then the little beach if you just go right by the parking lot. And his buddies stayed in the truck and they were all just like laughing at him and stuff. And it I don't know that it was necessarily his first time ever being at the beach or the ocean, but he went down and he picked up a stick and he went to start drawing something in the sand. And I was like, okay, like, cool. He's going to take a picture. He's going to write his wife's name or his girl's name, right? And then like send it to her or whatever. Nope. He just wrote his own name, Joe, in the sand and then took some pictures of the water and then left. So, um, I thought that was kind of fascinating. Unfortunately, the tide was coming in, so Joe's legacy only lasted about 14 minutes.
Yeah.
But, he made his impression while he was there. And I got the beach air, and I got some sun, and some just the ocean. It was a great, great opportunity to
Yeah.
recharge. I still feel better, because of it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the interesting thing too. Like when people think about the beach, they think about like Southern California, right? Like warm, sunny, the water's warm. Like California has a lot of coast, and there's a lot of like even like the dark coast area, like Fort Bragg. It's like you don't go in that
Yeah.
ocean. Like nobody goes to the ocean
Yeah.
there. Water was probably what, like
So
55 degrees. The air is 50 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally true, and that whole northern
Yeah.
area, it never gets too hot, like, during the summer even, it gets warm, but it's not, like, blazing
Yeah.
hot up there, and I remember, our buddy, came with us to the beach once, and he's from San Diego.
Yeah.
He was in the Air Force, so he did a lot of time in, like, Florida, and so his beach
Yeah.
idea was, like, Florida beaches or Southern California, like San Diego beaches, and so, the first time that he was really spending time up here, he was like "Man, I'm dying. I need to go to the beach, I need to get some ocean time or whatever." And we're like, "Okay." And, and he's one of these, like, hardcore, like, gym guys, so he's all yoked out all the time, and he wears the most minimal of clothing, right? Like,
Yeah.
all the time, no matter what. And so he'd love that I'm talking about this. So we go, "Well, you know, Stinson's not too far away. Like, we could make it to Stinson Beach in an hour and a half or whatever, and that's a beach. It's probably not too full right now. It wasn't the time of year or whatever." He's like, "Yeah." So he was super stoked. Like, I mean, just like through the roof. "Oh, I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm so excited."
Yeah.
And so we get out to the place where, all of those sort of Sonoma County, it's all like super hilly, right? So you go up on any of the roads that get you right to the beach are really windy, and they're all the way up the hill and then like big steep hills down, and they're so high up, and it's so moist and overcast all the time that when you're at the tops of these hills, the clouds are literally rolling by you on the road outside your
Mhm.
car. So it's like crazy. It's like you're driving on clouds. It literally, you can't see down through the cloud cover till the beach till you drive down through it. It's the most wild thing. So anyway, we're driving on that, and he's looking around and he's like, "Bro, what's going on? Like, what are all these clouds?" And I go, "Oh, like it's the cloud cover or whatever. It's early, like that'll burn off. Don't worry about it." We got down to the beach, and it was like Bay Area overcast, and it didn't cut. There was no sun rays coming through. It was freezing, dismal, cold beach, like cold Northern California beach. He was so mad, and he was wearing like these little thin shorts and a tank top. And I had to give him one of my hoodies out of the truck, and he could barely fit in it. Like it was, like giant guy in a little, and just so funny. So mad. But the kids had a blast. And
Yeah.
and he got to see a humpback whale feeding. Like we got to see it
Oh,
coming out of the water and its
yeah.
tail flipping. There was dolphins coming by. I was like, dude, this is the beach. And he's like, there's no sun, bro. This is not the beach. So he won't do any of I invited him on an ocean fishing trip after that with my buddy who runs the charter. Um, and he was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, out to the out to the bay." And he's like, "I'm good." He's not taking a chance. We're gonna end up back in that freezing cold.
Yeah. I feel like people are either like ocean people or they're mountain people. It's kind of like there's like really kind of no in between. Like maybe it's a little bit of desert kind of here and there. Like because I was born and raised in Santa Barbara, right, which is like a mid SoCal, still beaches, still ocean, still kind of like the thing. But I love the mountains though. Like I've grown to love them. I love mountains more and more. I especially here in like northern Georgia, where it's just mountains every like little mountains everywhere. It's like I love it. I go out. If I could be out daily hiking, I would. Right, and it's like, and the ocean kind of did the same thing for me when I was younger. But like as I've kind of grown up, it's like I much prefer mountains now. But just kind of being outside, being in nature, kind of just getting away from what life is a great way to kind of decompress and kind of being your own
Well,
home.
some might argue that you're actually going out into what life is.
Exactly. Yeah.
The rest of
Getting
this is
away.
just a silly construct, right? That stresses
Yeah.
us out for no reason.
Yeah. Like this, yeah, it's just, and so many people just live in this like this weird urban life, and you're like, man, there's just so much more better things out there to do, like to enjoy and I don't know, get out and get your heartbeat
What
up. And
So I get different things out of both, right? Like I get a very different feeling out of the mountains that I do out of the ocean, and I actually love them both. Just being outside and not in a box excites me immediately, right? But
yeah,
what is it how did the mountains edge out the ocean to you? Like what is it about the mountain experience?
I don't know. I think the mountain is a self-selecting thing where not everybody wants to go out and walk up a mountain, right? It's very easy to go to the beach and enjoy the beach, right? There's no real selection process and go to the beach, like whereas like hiking or
You're such a monster, Jordan. Like even your recreation has to be difficult.
hey man,
It's totally typically you. It's just
yeah, I
like
know.
so funny. Like of all the things that I thought you were gonna say, that should have been the one I was expecting, and it was not.
Yeah. I don't know, like,
So
I like
funny.
the idea of, like, earning the climb or earning the view from the top, right? Like, I like everybody wants the view, but nobody wants the work to get there, right? And I like the work. Like, I like to get to walk to the top of the hill and kinda look out and be like, "I earned this today." Like, I didn't just drive my truck up the top of the hill and be like, "Oh, it's a great view," and then drive back down, like, no, I climbed to get here, and I
Well,
enjoy that.
I would challenge the assertion that maybe you haven't spent enough time walking on a sandy beach,
Yes. Yeah.
or taking your a fishing pole in one hand and a bucket of all your rest of your stuff all the way down a rock jetty that is
Yeah.
threatening to kill you the entire time without using your hands. You earned it when you get there.
Yeah. So
But
I like the
I know what you mean though. I know what you
yeah.
mean. The mountains, there's something special about it.
Yeah, but though, like, I like the ocean too, though, because I grew up I used to go to the ocean 5 or 6 times a year. I go down back to Santa Barbara, visit family, stay in a family home, like, I grew up, like, body surfing and surfing in the ocean, and, like and I love the waves. Like, I can go and like, whenever we go on vacation with the ocean around, like, I'll just go and, like, just swim in the waves and just kinda, like, duck under it when the wave crashes over you and kinda just that whole experience. Like, I could do that for hours. We went to Maui one time, and I did that for, like, hours, just hung out in the waves.
Any
I
act
love it.
have you done any actual surfing or just body surfing?
A little bit here and there. I can stand up and ride like a longboard, like, but I never got. I moved to Northern California when I was 7 years old, and so I kind of missed like that whole like surfing phase. Like I could boogie board and I could stand up on a longboard and kind of ride it and kind of catch the wave. But I snowboarded and wakeboarded and stuff like that. Never really kind of got into surfing because
Did
it
you
was
ever
too
wake
like
surf?
a little bit. I'm kind of big to wake surf. Like my sister did it and she competed doing it. Like, and she was actually good at
Okay.
it. Like, but my dad had a
Yeah.
boat, and I was on all through high school. I wakeboarded for a really long time, like all through high school, junior high and high school, and kind of that was like my thing when I wasn't playing baseball. But yeah, it's just I don't
I've
know.
never
I
gotten
grew up
up on
doing
a
board sports.
wakeboard.
Yeah,
Like I still have never gotten up on a wakeboard. But I've
really.
also not I also haven't ever had a wakeboard that was designed for someone my size and weight, right? It was
Yeah,
always like I was with a bunch of skinny people who gave me this like tiny little board and I'm like, dude,
yeah,
I can barely keep this life jacket is having a hard time keeping me out of the water. You think I'm gonna be able
yeah.
to but I learned how to wake surf and I love that. Like I
Mhm.
really enjoy doing that. But I don't have a boat or anything, it's always like, who wants to
Yeah,
take their boat out? Like
yeah,
I'll I'll back your truck in. I'll go park. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's
My
funny.
cousins in Alabama actually have a boat, and we actually went out with them this year, and I actually got up on a wakeboard the first time in years, probably like 6 years, 7 years. Like got up and like actually like rode it, like cleared the wake. I'm like, yeah, like, I still got it. Like little things here and there. My kids are like blown away. Like, how can you do that? Like, I did this for a really long time. Yeah.
I was always scared of my feet being strapped in too. Like what
Yeah.
I really love about wake surfing. Well, number one, you're going 11 miles an hour, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not that crazy. And if you have any level of control over the board, you're not going to hit the back of the boat. So I've never had a crash where I went, "Oh, that was a close one." It's like
Mhm.
you might get hit with the board or something or, but it's never like insane. And I found this brand of glasses, they're called heat waves. They make floating sunglasses. So I
Oh,
can just wear my glasses out there and I hit the water and then when I come up, I just look around for the red glint on the surface and swim over
yeah.
and grab my glasses. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
super super cool.
Yeah. I was always so
But
jealous of
yeah,
people who can wake surf. Like my cousin's daughter's like 120 pounds, like 5'7", and she just shreds on that thing. Just doesn't need the rope, just rides it back and forth, goes way out, comes
yeah.
back in. It's like, gosh, I'm so jealous of you.
I
I'm a
think you
100
could
pounds
do
heavier than
it.
you.
I think you just need a bigger board, bro. I think you could do it.
I don't know. Like my cousin has like a boat like that's full of water and like sits in the water. It's like just pushing
Yeah, yeah,
water.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can barely hang on. But because I'm 220 pounds. Like my body's not designed to push a board like that, which I'm fine with me.
Me
But
too, bro. Well, 205. I mean, uh and that's the good thing is like the cousin that we go with all the time, he's a big boy. So
yeah,
I'm like the boards he has on the boat are more than adequate for me to ride.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't have
So
to buy
just with
a
the little
board or a
people.
life jacket.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, so if I was 120 pounds, I'd shred too.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we did the ocean and then we just came back and kind of oh, we found this really cool spice shop. So they sell like all different kinds of spices and then they make spice blends and stuff. So we bought like a spicy beef rub that they put
Oh.
together with like some exotic spices. And then we bought a container of the mix for making chai at home. So like actual legit chai out of the spices.
Mhm.
Um so yeah, pretty cool. The cashier's name was Wind, which I thought that was really interesting.
Makes sense.
You don't run into that a lot, except I
Yeah.
mean, Petaluma is kind of like it's kind of a Portlandy little place. You know,
Yeah.
it's like interesting art some places, and they have a little venue where bands play and, um, like,
Well, they're
all
known for
of
their
their
adobe, right?
bars and s What's that?
They're known for the adobe there, the Petaluma adobe, like the Spanish the Spanish,
Looking architecture?
yeah, like a Spanish, like a outpost was there for a long time in like the 1600s. Yeah.
Okay. I know that,
Mhm.
so when we used to come into town, it would take you past this, like, abandoned train station that they have in town, this
Mhm.
really cool old, I think we actually might have even taken some early band pictures back in my younger days, in front of that train station because it was so cool. And now they've completely refurbished it, but it's in that same Adobe style, like, it's
Mhm.
still, like, the brown mud outside looking, um and then, like, vibrant, shutters and stuff and, like, blues and
Yeah.
reds. It's pretty cool. They did a good job on it. But the way we came in, I don't even pass it anymore, so it's like the freeways have been it's kind of, progress takes you past, you know,
Yeah.
different directions, I guess. But yeah, it was really cool. We came home and I just kinda laid in bed and did nothing for the rest of the day because that was exhausting.
Yeah.
But I will admit, I miss the goose a little bit.
Yeah. The goose. Gotta figure where you bought that at. Hanging from the ceiling.
He's got them in bulk. Like,
Yeah.
he had to have.
Bought them all.
So what's,
He corners the market on goose lamps. Pulling out of storage.
just pull one out, a brand new one. So, I saw you started a new Instagram page. What's the new Insta page about?
Yeah, it's called Where I Wander. And I'm so and the reason why I do it, I know you and I talked about this, like, so my personal page is a personal page, right? And I'm very particular who I let onto it. I put my kids' pictures on there. I put family stuff on there, and so like it gets to I'm like, and I'm kind of posting a bunch of pic. Cause I've been walking a lot recently, right? I did like 23,000 steps yesterday. I did like 18,000 today, and I'm just out
Yeah.
in nature so much more. And I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of have my mom is was an artist, and my mom is like an interior designer, and I have a kind of an eye for pictures and for I don't know, artistic eye for picture. And so I've been kind of posting pictures here and there on my Instagram page. And I'm like, I don't want to just have that be the thing that I start doing now. And I kind of cluttering my personal page with pictures of the environments that I kind of walk around in. And so I
Yeah.
started that page to kind of post those pictures on. And then I also have been kind of with the whole divorce thing. I've been kind of in my mind a lot doing kind of not like poetry, but not in a way like that where every other line rhymes kind of a thing, but just kind of like this freewheeling thought about just kind of what I'm thinking about and what the environment is and what kind of what's in rolling through my mind at that moment. And so I've been kind of pairing random pictures here and there with kind of the thoughts that are in my head with that recently. And so I'm just, I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's
Stream
just kind of a place
like
to dump.
stream of
Yeah.
like a stream of consciousness journaling kind of thing almost.
Yeah. Like tonight, I just got to do a picture about about light and darkness and how light kind of reveals what's there and what's not there. And the darkness that's removed is you find out kind of what the light exposes what's there in your life and kind of what's not there in your life. And then you're also kind of have to deal with kind of that situation of why things are there, why things are not there. And so it's just a place to kind of put thoughts down, and a place to kind of enjoy sharing the things that I see and the opportunities to, I don't know, let other people see it.
When so when you're writing these things, um, 'cause I'm always fascinated, I've been writing songs and poetry and stuff,
Mhm.
my whole life, and I'm always interested in other people's, um, just sort of method. Is it so obviously you're processing through a lot of thoughts and a lot of emotions right now. Is the is that do you think that the poetry or the journaling, do you think it's a way that you're trying to sort out how you feel, or do you think you're trying to use it to arrive at a destination? Does that make sense?
Um, I think a little bit of both. Like a lot of it is kind of just sorting out my thoughts and kind of just kind of putting my thoughts like in a linear progression. Like this is where I kind of see myself going, and the kind of steps I kind of go to get there is a big part of it, or maybe just kind of extrapolating on the thought that I'm having right now, right? And so like, or how I'm feeling in the moment, how I'm feeling in the environment that I kind of find myself in, and a lot of the even tonight, like a lot of the walking that I do is in the dark. And I love walking in the dark, and I love kind of the experience of kind of just being out in the back of my neighborhood, kind of just walking through the trees and walking through just the environment that's there. It's just there's nobody there. A random car will drive by here and there, but it's just you just have time to kind of just be in your thoughts and kind of be thinking about the darkness or thinking about your interactions with people or thinking about the lack of interaction with people. And it's kind of like you kind of start feeling a certain way. And you kind of go, well, how can I build upon this idea of like one of the ones I had kind of recently was like feeling like a ghost in my life, like feeling like I'm kind of just not fully there. Like I call people and kind of haunt people here and there, but they think about me in the moment. Then when I leave, they just kind of move on to the next thing and kind of not feeling like not feeling involved, not feeling kind of like touched by other people in my life. Is kind of feeling just like a half life, like an unfulfilled kind of a thing. And so it's like kind of having that idea and kind of building upon that idea and kind of just filling in the details and kind of filling in the texture of the idea. And walking kind of gives me that opportunity to kind of do that.
Have you written anything lately that surprised you?
Um, Nothing really recently. Like early on, I kind of got a couple really good ones. It was like, oh wow, like that was really painful. That was really deep, and that was, you can like feel like the rawness of the situation. Um, I don't know, like nothing really like super strong. Like the ghost stuff really early on was like the probably the pinnacle because it was so much pain and so much rawness that kind of
Sure.
went into it. Yeah, and now it's just kind of like this making observations and kind of trying to extrapolate on that and fill in that observation versus just like the pain and the rawness that goes into it.
It will be interesting experiment for you at some point, in the future to look back on those notes, to
Yeah.
look back on the journaling and the poetry, and to see how much you can still remember the person that wrote them, right? Because like I wrote probably I probably wrote, I don't know, 50 or 60 songs and poems, back during that crazy phase of my life. And some of them I go back now, I can use almost none of it to represent myself present day because I just
Mhm.
don't even relate to that person. But it's interesting to me actually how angry he was. And like how like some of it I read and I go, "Whoa," like, dude, that's super raw. And
Yeah.
some of those raw things made it into actual songs, and some of them I still have certain feelings about, but it's sort of a crazy thing to look back on, to pick yourself up mid-conversation 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and
Well,
go,
yeah, and a lot
"Whoa,"
of it too is
like,
like,
it's fascinating.
yeah, it's like I'm kind of doing this thing now where I'm like, I'll have a thought and I go, okay, well, why did I have that thought? Like, why am I thinking about this? Why am I? And I'll kind of like dig into the thought like backwards and be like, okay, well, like, what's the rationale behind this, or what's the idea behind this feeling of enjoying the darkness and what the darkness kind of exposes and what the light doesn't expose and what light does expose. Like, I don't know, you kind of have this like this. forward and backward kind of perspective, trying to be like, I like this idea. What led to this idea? How can I expand upon this idea? And then kind of like filling in the gaps from there. And I don't know. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But it's always kind of
It's
an interesting thought
interesting.
thing.
The light, like that light dark analogy is interesting, and it's a theme that's sort of made a couple of appearances in some past episodes. Last season, particularly, I remember having a conversation. One of our quotes was, "The wound is where the light enters," and we talked about, we talked about light being able to find its way into a place that had been cut open, and then the other one was the one about digging holes, and I think it was you that made a reference to even being down deep in that hole, like, at some point during the day, the sun passes over and
Hmm.
exposes what's in the hole, like, whatever. Um, so I just think it's an interesting analogy because I feel like there's probably, for you, some comfort in being enveloped in a place where no one's got you under a microscope evaluating everything you're doing and saying there, right? Like you're
Yeah.
out in a path by yourself in the dark, right? No one's holding the light up to you like they do, or like you're being scrutinized, in other parts of your life or by other people. Um, there's probably, I think there's probably something there too, you know?
Yeah. And I don't know, so I've always been a people person. I've always been somebody who like the whole love language thing, right? Like my number one's like physical touch. And so like these last 11 weeks has been a real difficult part of that because it's non-existent, right? And so I mean kind of like seeing myself being okay with not having with being alone and being kind of separate and being this new existence. And like, and I know we talked about it last time, like how difficult New Year's Eve and New Year's Day was. But I feel like that time was a huge watershed moment for me recently, where I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay now in this. Like, because my kids are gone right now. They're on a cruise in the Bahamas for the next 6 days, and they have no cell phone coverage. There's no Wi-Fi. There's nothing. And so I talked to my kids today at 2 o'clock, and I won't talk to them again until Friday evening. And so it's Monday, and it's like it's a weird kind of thing to be like, I'm okay with. I'm okay. Like, are you alone or are you free? Kind of a thing. And it's like this guy that perspective and that realization. And I'm sure there'll be difficult times and difficult events and things like that. And I had some little frustrating moments today, but it's like I don't know. Like I feel like my thought process has kind of changed recently, and it's not cemented and it's not permanent, but it's definitely different than it was 11 weeks ago.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that those times of testing and again, way throwing back to one of the earlier episodes, but the idea of going through tests, whether they're self-imposed or whether they're the tests that, just come our way. Um, because, like there's a huge difference between what we need and what we want. Right. And a love language is a want because you can survive without it. Right?
Yeah.
You can't survive without water for more than a couple of days. You can't survive without food for more than a couple of days. You need shelter, you need, but are there's things like that that are preferences that we place a lot of importance on. Not that it's wrong to do that, but it's just we place the value on them, right? We place the emphasis on them. And so I think that it's been, having talked to you about it a lot, I think that it's good to see you getting to that place where you realize like, okay, not only am I okay, but this is actually something that I can reserve for when I am loved. I don't need to try to seek that feeling from just anyone, right? It's because I think that's a danger for some people is getting to that place where they go, okay, well, my love language is physical touch and I don't have anybody that I'm not with anybody right now. I'm by myself, but I still want that. I still need that. I still, I want that physical contact. And that's where you start to get into, you know, other things. it's it's a good thing that you're calibrating and figuring it out, you know,
Mhm.
I think rather than finding things out the hard way, or the harder way, maybe is the right way to
Yeah.
say it.
But yeah, it's just it's
Uh,
a weird thing, man.
it's crazy.
It's a weird experience. And I was talking to my parents about it recently, like about how you kind of deal with pain and how you kind of deal with this like the struggle. It's like you want to not just like let go. Like, you know, I talk about it, right? Like, so let go of the wheel, let God and let go. It's just like, well, yeah, but then when you get done kind of fixing your relationship with God, there's still pain and there's still time. And it's like, well, why not learn from that pain? Why not use that pain as an instructor to correct things and see it as what it is and see it as an opportunity to address things in your life and you fix things in your life and not just let it be wasteful, right? Because the pain's still going to be there. Life's still difficult. Life still has that painful part of it. Like it could be a teacher too. So why not utilize it?
I mean, you may not win going through it, but you definitely lose the other way.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's a crazy
Well, what was that thing I
it's a
sent you
crazy
recently? It was
journey,
like that.
man, and
Yeah, that Buddhist thing, right? It was like pain. What was it? Like it's and the society we live in, right? Everybody's so pain avoidant, right? Nobody wants to experience pain in their life, right? Like doctors are paid to make you not experience pain. And so many people live their lives avoiding it so much. It's just like, but a society that avoids pain is a society that doesn't grow and doesn't experience what life really is, right? Like Jimmy Carr talks
yeah,
about
I
that.
think
He's
it
like,
was something like suffering wasn't it like suffering is pain multiplied or something like that? It was
something like
like
that.
something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah. Like, because Jimmy Carr talked about that recently. He's like, anybody you looked up to in the past didn't have a hot shower, didn't have hot water in their life. Like, that's all luxury that we've had in the last like 50 to 100 years. Like, nobody you knew from pre 1920s had a hot shower ever. And it's like all these little things, all these little parts in our lives are all the little comforts and little joys and stuff like that. Like, you don't realize how much of your life is now easy because of it. And you miss out on stuff.
That is true. Convenience is a coffin.
Yeah.
That is a recurring
Yeah.
motto for this show,
Well,
for
yeah.
sure.
Well, and as hard as and also too, like as hard as this time is for me right now, it will make that future time that much better, right? If I can get through this, if I can come out on the other side and I can experience the true darkness and the true depths of sadness and loneliness and stuff like that, like then when that future time comes and it's the complete opposite of that, like it makes it that much sweeter because of it. Like if you fast for 3 days and that first meal you eat, you're like, oh my gosh, this apple's amazing. Like because you've not eaten. And it is, I don't know, you
Yeah.
appreciate it afterward.
Yeah, I think that the other side is equally important to acknowledge and probably more difficult,
Mhm.
especially when you're in the middle of it all. Um, but, you know, we have talked about the concept of being alone versus being free, you know, and
Yeah.
about what you know, what that all entails.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Well, yeah, and there's a big part of it too, like relationships, right? Like friendships, especially. Because when you're married and you've got couple friends and stuff like that, like you're friends with, and I don't make like like we joked about it last week. Like I don't make lots of friends. Like that's not my thing. Like I have very few really good friends, and that's about it. Like I don't have a bunch of like secondary or like surface level friends. I don't. I just it's never been my thing. Like if I believe in you or believe in the friendship or love that person, like I will invest very heavily in that, and I can't spread that around to 200 people as there's less than 10, right? So and the interesting is now the situation that I'm in, like there is lots of guys who I was like couple friends with who I've not talked to now in over 10 weeks because of this whole situation. And it's okay with me. Like I not that I'm trying to shed friends, but like I have nothing. I've your wife is better friends with my ex-wife than I'm friends with you. And so you are being told that you can't be friends anymore and we can't be friends anymore. And that's great. Like you're making my life easier. Like, yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah. People interjecting themselves into things or people giving you an unsolicited advice or like, oh, you need to do this, or oh, hey, I need to step in between this whole conversation and make sure that I make myself in between you and this other person so we can figure this out. It's just like, no, you don't. And I have nothing for you. And I'm not even going to respond. Like, I don't have time for it. And it's crazy how you get these people in life who think that they are helping out by interjecting themselves in. And I have nothing. Like, I've learned that not responding to people is an amazing, freeing situation. Like, oh, yeah, you want me to text? I'm going to delete it. I'm not going to respond to it. I don't care. Like, it's not worth my time. Cool. Yeah. What el Yeah. And it also shows you too, like, how many people in your life you've given authority to interject themselves into your life. Like, because so much of that is like, "All right, well, I've given you this opportunity to speak to me this way." Like, now, or I had the opportunity to refine a lot of that. It's like, "No, I don't care." I and, "All right, yeah, we've not talked in 10 weeks, but now you wanna talk and you wanna talk this through." Like, all right, exactly. The tryout thing is a perfect example of that. Like, I don't need you around. You've not been around the last 12 weeks, like plus, and let's see if you make it. Because I don't life is short and life is long. And if you're not on my side, not on my team, you don't want to believe in this, you don't want to do this thing, move along. Like it's not personal. Like it's not yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think too, though, it's one of these things. It's like I don't want to have tons of positive feeling or tons of negative feeling. I just want zero feeling. Like if if you don't do it, like more power to you. If you don't want to be here, more power to you. I won't think negatively of you. I won't badmouth you. I won't. I just won't think of you, and I'll move along. It makes the cut. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I think one thing though. I think one thing I'd say like I'm guilty of this too. Like I oftentimes assume that people don't care. Like they go, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good." Like because I assume that they don't want to really hear what's going on, right? And I don't know. It's incumbent upon you to, if you feel comfortable with that person, to let them know how you're doing, right? If you are struggling or if you are having a hard time or you're going through something, like find those people in your life who do really care and be open and honest and transparent enough and sincere enough to let people know how you're doing. And if they brush you off, then recalibrate, right? Or if they really do want to hear how you're doing and they really do want to follow up with you, like it's important to be able to express those feelings out loud and not just boil and fester and let them take root in your life. And it's hard. It's not comfortable. Trust me. Like I don't enjoy really opening up to a lot of people, but it's one of these things where it's like, I don't know if it can be helpful and if it can have an impact, like find that one person who really cares about you and let them know how you're doing, like, truly how you're doing, not just like I'm doing fine, I'm doing well, or I'm doing good. It's like, no, I don't know. If you are struggling, let somebody know. And it's let that pain be divided, right? Like don't just keep it all in and just swallow it down like we're always told to do. Like, oh, men don't express their pain or feelings. Like, no, 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 man. Like people care. There are people who really care about you. And it's just important to let them know if you are struggling. Because people have experienced it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Thanks.